All right, you guys, we've got an unfortunate update today. Before I dive in, I do want to say that this video is extremely personal. Not for me, but for the individual that this video is about. And, you know, I really struggled on whether or not I was going to publish this, but leading up to all this, the woman that we're going to address imputed criminality upon me. She actually accused me of committing crimes. And I just thought it was important to show everyone who the real liar is. All I wanted to do was hold my government employees accountable. What I did not expect to happen was to suffer retaliation. So the backstory here is there was an event log report from April 27th. An event log report comes from the sheriff's dispatch, and it said my delegate, Bill Wiley's legislative assistant, Susan Schick, both of whom I'm currently suing, that her husband left weeks ago, and she wanted to have he and his family trespassed. I FOIA requested the body cam footage for that event, and there was a little bit of a mix-up, and I didn't get it until today. But on May 1st, I had published the event log onto Facebook. Susan Schick had decided it would be a good idea to contact the sheriff's department and lie, saying that that never happened. Her husband never left. The deputy either got it wrong or I altered the document, which neither was true. We're going to go over that. And she, let's see here, she posted onto Facebook this really awful Facebook post. I mean, it just makes her look really bad. You can pause it and read it if you want. She says in the second paragraph, my husband never left weeks ago, and this call was for the landlord. We can obviously prove she's lying and has altered legal documents to fit her narrative. There's the rest of that post. So, I got the body cam footage. And as it turns out, Susan Schick got caught in a lie, which is exactly what I had expected. Again, I cannot thank this deputy enough for turning that body cam on, because Susan was throwing this guy under the bus. He didn't do anything wrong. And I swear, when it comes down to lying to law enforcement in order to, I don't know, go after or target other people, this really becomes an abuse of power. I mean, Susan Schick is not serving the public in her capacity as a government employee. She's now become a public nuisance for what she's doing. You know, when she's abusing the power of the sheriff's department and she's trying to manipulate them to essentially violate other people's rights. I mean, this is literally how people end up losing their rights. I'd be shocked if the sheriff's department does not go after Susan for lying. I mean, they might not care because, you know, whatever, but they should. These are the kind of people that are in this community, just like Susan Schick's friend, Perjury Priscilla, and what that woman did to me. Susan Schick's trying to do the same old thing. So, without further ado, I'm going to hit play on this body cam footage, and it is going to prove Susan has been lying. The story she's been telling people is not true. And it's actually, like, really gnarly. It's about 8 minutes long.
My husband acts like me and Dad are taking, and he acts like they're doing something nice for me. And then I figure actually, my son called me and told me, Dad, Granddad left, just dropped me off. Mm-hmm. Well, he knew that I stayed with him. I don't ever just drop him off. And so I was like, that feels weird. And it just was weird. So that's what really struck a red flag.
Yeah.
That they left him.
Right.
They didn't even find out if he had appendicitis. His dad didn't care. They left him. And it was their way of being able to get the truck that they needed from here.
Gotcha.
That's what they did. And they just cut, acted like nonchalant. They were going to go cut wood. No, they didn't do none of that.
Look,
they left straight from town and went to Kentucky.
I'm not saying it's right, ma'am. Okay, but because your husband claims residency at.
He don't claim residency. Believe me.
Man.
He's not going to after tomorrow. I don't care what he thinks. He won't be here. That's not a residency if you don't live here. He's not coming back here. He never planned on it and didn't even coming back here. I mean, they told us, he said his brother cussed me out on the phone this morning when I tried to find out what was going on. His dad laughed. His sister-in-law laughed like it was funny. And his dad said, told me you're not fucking coming back anyway. And then the landlord let me know he never even came and paid the rent for April. I said, what? He said, you think you can swing pay me the rent for April too? I said, well, yeah, sure. I mean, so technically he didn't pay April rent. We're month to month. As of April, he didn't live here.
Ma'am, again, you're not hearing what I'm saying. Okay.
I am hearing what you're saying, but you're saying he's claiming residency.
Again.
That means he would have to come back and live here, right?
No, it does not.
When did he not claim residency? When his house is finished being built? Or when he, what?
If you're going through the divorce process, right? If you're going,
I just found this stuff out last night and this morning.
Okay,
of course
I can't. Ma'am, please. Let me say what I'm going to say, and then you can argue with me to your heart's content.
I'm not trying to argue. I'm trying to understand how somebody don't live here, how they can claim it's the residency.
So
he's not going to be. What's he going to do? So I'm still living with Sue?
You've been married.
And I throw her money for the house?
You've been married for how long?
20 years.
20 years.
Okay. And let me tell you, you don't even want to know. In March, when I was going to divorce him the first time, how much he begged that, I'm going to change, I'm changed, I'd be better. I thought he was better for the kids. And it was all ploy. He used me and the kids as a ploy. He used every one of us in different ways to get access to money that he didn't have access to because it wasn't his. That was not his money. That was not his at all. Even legally, it was not his money. And so he just used it to get everything he needed. He kept slowly. One of his texts told me he kept slowly bringing everything to his office.
Okay.
And then he started with Dad and taking everything to town hall.
I'm going to simplify things as much as I can for you, okay?
Yeah.
I'm the wrong person.
Yeah.
I'm the wrong person to talk to, okay?
Why?
Because we are dealing with civil matters and not criminal. Nothing criminal, nothing of what you described has risen to the level of criminality to where I can charge somebody for it. It's not there.
So somebody has to be a criminal to be for you to put no trespassing on your, they can't trespass
I cannot,
on your property?
If they have property there and they've been married to you for 20 years and they claimed residency.
He has no property. You don't own any property here.
Yeah, but all of it is like, if you guys have been together for, the last 20 years and he's lived there the past 10.
Yeah, but that's like punishing me.
I'm not.
And everybody's making him.
Ma'am. Again, I will provide you a solution if you just let me talk.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm your super fucking pissed.
And I get that, because it's a stressful situation. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. I mean it. Okay, I mean it. So I'm right there with you, but I can only tell you what I'm legally allowed to do. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you're talking about is a division of marital property, right? I cannot get into that. I cannot.
Well, yeah, I understand that part of it, and I do.
Okay. And when it comes to his access, when it comes to his access, when it comes to his access of the property that he claims residency to, right? And he can claim residency because he's been there for the past 10 years, right?
According to the landlord, he cannot claim residency they redid that.
Ma'am, if the landlord changes the locks on him, he can kick down that door.
Well, I'm saying the landlord back about 5 years ago did it month to month.
Ma'am, it doesn't matter if he doesn't pay rent. It doesn't matter if he doesn't pay rent. Okay?
I know that because I know Virginia legislation protects renters more than it does the landlord.
Okay.
I know that.
What your landlord can do is evict him. Okay? And he would have to evict just him. Right? But he can still claim that he has property on here. It's a mess. It's a mess. And I'm not saying it's not.
But still, even if he evicted him, I still don't have the right to not trespass him.
What you need to do, if you evict, even then, if there's still marital property, probably not. But
there's no, he doesn't own any vehicles. I own them all.
What I would do is once you're done talking to me on the phone, is call you a divorce lawyer, okay? Because,
I know several personally, yes.
Well, you better give them a call.
A couple of them the ones that told me to have the trespass served first.
I can't trespass somebody from their own resident. I can't do it.
They said it was after so long time away. He's considered that not his residence anymore.
It's a good little while, believe me.
I'm saying he left. We didn't know he was leaving. He didn't tell us when he was coming back. He said now, because they say that he wasn't planning on coming back at all. So he pissed the landlord off because old Mr. for me than to answer that damn phone and tell me man to man that he didn't plan on paying.
Look,
I understand all what you're saying.
I'm not saying it's not right, but but he can evict him over that, sure. By all means, go for it.
But the eviction process alone, you know how long that takes.
It's not all that long.
Or if it ever happens at all.
It's not all that long if you prove, look, he's not paying, and you can serve an eviction notice. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as you think. If the landlord has questions about that, tell him to call in. All right, especially during daylight hours. But yeah, you're talking about a massive civil property division here, and that is civil. That is in the realms of the civil courts.
Okay, I got it. Oh, never mind. I'll ask the lawyer. Okay.
Okay, so you got to talk to a divorce lawyer about that.
Thank you.
All right, you take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Okay, that was the video. As you heard, Susan has been lying. What she alleged on May 1st was a lie, and it was, she knew what the truth was. She intentionally lied, not just about me, which looks really bad for when I sue her for defamation. But it also looks really bad that she was willing to lie to law enforcement as if they didn't have the evidence to prove she was lying. So after Susan made this Facebook post, and there was a bunch of photos, a bunch of comments, I have it all preserved, I contacted her attorney at the Attorney General's office, letting him know that I intend to sue Susan for defamation per se, for claiming, for imputing criminality upon myself. Like she said, I was harassing, stalking. What else did she say? Harassing, attacking. And then she included defamation of character, and then that I've altered documents. Like on her Facebook post, she said that I've altered legal documents, which an event log is not a legal document, but I didn't alter it anyways. And then I included to the attorney that she would need to, in order to mitigate damages, delete the post and issue a public correction that she was wrong and I did not commit any crimes. Susan did not do it. If Susan would have done that, I wouldn't be publishing this today. And it's unfortunate that this is where we're at. But I'm not going to put up with a woman whose paycheck is paid by my tax dollars for her to not just violate my rights, not just commit perjury, but to lie about me to people in the community. It's not okay. This is not a woman that takes her job seriously. If she wants to be a private citizen, don't work for the government. Okay? It's as simple as that. But she doesn't have a concept of being a public servant. Susan Schick is the type of person that gets the position she gets and expects the crown and the throne, and she's going to look at us as peasants. When the reality is, the roles are reversed. And she doesn't get it. She really, this woman doesn't understand First Amendment. She doesn't understand, I mean, really, she doesn't understand law in general. And remember, she's a legislative assistant. I mean, she's got her hand in the pot of writing legislation, and she does not know what it actually means. It's very scary, very scary. Anyways, let's keep our fingers crossed that there will be no part 3. But who knows? Susan does have a tendency to surprise me.